Hello and welcome. My name is Spencer, and Starship Troopers Extermination has had a lot of changes, so let's just jump right into it. Companies, they allow you to participate in the Galactic Front. I will get to that in a minute. Companies, they have no search function and no invite system. This needs to be here. Offworld needs to get on this ASAP. I don't know why they don't have these. You get random companies when you bring up this page. The only way to play the new planet Boreas is by being in a company. You must be in a company if you want to play this planet. It doesn't show up in the regular rotation. That's only Valaka, Agni Prime, and X11. However, you can easily make your own company, then create a game even if no one else is in your company, and matchmaking will find other players for you. The Galactic Front, which I mentioned earlier, is a long-term goal working towards enough victory points to get the spoils of war, which are cosmetic items for your character and weapons so far. I hope over time that they add more variety to the missions, because the mission I played for a Galactic Front objective was just Horde mode. Over time, I would like to see more mission types and more objectives within missions, because if it's just going to be Horde mode, defend the Ark, and AAS, which I think is Advanced Attack Secure, for the Galactic Front missions, that's just the normal mission types that are already in the game. I'd like to see something unique and special for the Galactic Front. So companies, Galactic Front, they both need work. Now I'm going to get into some class-specific issues that I have, or improvements. The medic. I don't always see players' health. I still need to be close to see them, their health bar, and even then it doesn't always show up. If you have the health dart out, it should display the health of everyone. I don't know if it should be based on distance or if the distance shouldn't matter. It's a little difficult to play medic right now because I'm not always certain if somebody needs the help or not because I can't see their health bar. The good news is that when you aim down the sights with the dart gun, the iron sights show up at the correct height, because before what was happening is that the gun would be raised too high up and you would not be able to properly aim with the iron sights. So thankfully that has been fixed. You still need to have a clear line of sight to send the medical bot. If you can't see the body and get the person within the green circle, the bot probably can't make it. I got lucky a few times here. If there are any objects in the way, including dead bugs, it will stop short. With the Carnage update, which makes bug bodies persist on the map, sending the bot is especially difficult. I would like them to add a highlight function for down players' icons as a medic when you aim down your sights at them, indicating that the bot will make it to them. What I would suggest is that when you aim down your sights at a dead player's icon, the icon will highlight in gold, let's say, and then you know if you send that bot, it's going to get to that player. If the icon is not highlighted in gold, the bot won't pick up that player. They fixed an issue where the medical bot would not revive you even if you had charges left, which was frustrating to me on a number of occasions, so I'm glad that they fixed that. Both the E-Pulse rifle and the E-Pulse pistol had their armor piercing set to a maximum of 5, which is why it feels so much better to use them. They don't do more damage, but the armor piercing helps out a lot, because before they had low armor piercing, low damage, and they just were not fun to use at all. Now they're a lot better. There's one thing I wanted to mention about the engineer class, and that is that the flamethrower has gotten a damage buff and an armor piercing buff, which this is why this weapon also feels much nicer to use, because before it felt very weak. I still feel like the range on this, I know it's a flamethrower, but the range on this is a little bit short. I feel like it could be a bit longer range than what it is, but it does actually kill bugs a lot faster than it used to, which is great to see. The sniper, I have one thing to say. The E-Pulse rifle is still terrible. It has less range than the Morita AR. It has less range than a pistol. Under no circumstances should this be the case. I hope they increase the range to something more reasonable, like 100 meters. It's currently at 60 meters. 100 meters is less than the other two snipers. It does less damage, but that's a fine trade-off for a higher rate of fire and great armor piercing. I can't hit a bug with this rifle, and I can hit the same bug with a pistol. When I'm zoomed in with a weapon and switch to a different one, something strange happens. The gun is out of framed or zoomed in too much or too little. Switching weapons while zoomed in causes problems like this. It's happened several times with different weapons. It's fixable if you press the right mouse button enough times to get it back to normal, but this is not right and needs to be fixed. This other problem that I had, it only happened once, and this grenadier shoots me, kills me, I get respawned, and then when I get back up, I'm trying to move the mouse around, and I can't move at all, and it's plugged in, there's nothing wrong with the wire. I'm not really sure what's happening. I do manage to get back to the ship, but I have to walk sideways, and I can't see where I'm going. I've never had this happen before. I'm not really sure what caused it. Like I said, the grenadier shot hit me. I don't know if it was that or something else going on, or if when I got respawned and all the bodies were around, if it did something, but this is very strange. They fixed the problem with weapon attachments, where you would put attachments on a weapon in your loadout, switch to a different weapon, and then switch back to the first weapon, and all of the attachments would unattach. That's no longer the case. I can equip things to a weapon and switch to something else, and if I decide to switch back, all the same attachments will still be there. I would still like to see weapon modifications that change the look of the weapon. For example, you can get an extended magazine in the game already, but when you look at the weapon, the magazine is the same size. I would like to see magazines, extended ones, that are in fact longer. I'd like to see some of the icons change too. So for example, if you put an extended magazine on your weapon, the icon looks like a longer magazine than usual. Or if you have faster reload, like the quick mag, maybe put 2 magazines on there and like some little arrows or something to indicate like, yes, this is a quick reload magazine. Just something to make it visually distinct. Not a big deal if it doesn't get added to the game, but it's just something I would kind of like to see. I've had 2 crashes so far that shut down the whole game. It has not happened much. I haven't noticed a lot of lag with players or enemies or anything like that, so the performance seems to be okay for me. I know other people are still having problems, but it seems relatively stable, although I know it could use more work. I don't know if you can see it in the footage I have up here, but I've noticed, and I've noticed this for a while, when you're mantling objects, when you're trying to jump onto something, like grab it, there tends to be this lag happening. So it looks like I'm trying to mantle the object twice. I'm not really sure what's causing that. It's been around for a while, so it feels like it's taking longer to jump over objects. I don't know what they would need to do to fix this, but it is weird, and it makes jumping over things and mantling feel jerky. On Agni Prime, which is the planet that we're looking at right now, the lighting still looks very harsh and washed out. You can see it on the ground, you can see it on all the cliffs. in the back there. I've looked at my brightness settings. I've looked at the lighting settings. I've changed them around. It doesn't do anything. I don't know what they need to adjust, but this is the only planet where this happens. I think the brightness needs to be toned down because this looks unnaturally bright. It doesn't really look like the sun is shining on anything. It looks like there's a giant spotlight that's washing everything out. It is no longer a problem when you die and your body goes flying across the base or even across the map. That was an issue before where you wouldn't even get hit with like a grenadier shot or something like that. You would just be killed by one of the arachnids and you should just fall over on the ground, but then you go flying. I have not noticed it happening at all. I haven't seen it happen once, which is really great because you could be at the base, somebody gets killed, and then they're thrown so far away you can't possibly get to them. There are still enemies that disappear into thin air. This tends to happen at the end of a wave in horde mode. There's a counter for how many enemies are left to kill. When the wave ends and there are still bugs above ground, many of them burrow back underground, but others just disappear. It's not a problem per se, but it's weird looking. There are still future updates and additions to be made. I will keep you updated as things change, because despite this being a 1.0 release, there's still a lot of work to do. And you can expect more videos as I find more things that I want to mention. Thank you for being here. Subscribe if you want to see more updates, and have a good day.